can each answer these questions. Did you work at Zimmer during the summer of 1982?
Yes, I did.
Did you both work there?
Yes, both of us.
Do your concerns cover incidents during this period of time?
Yes, they did.
What is your general area of work?
Well, it was mostly the rework on structural steel.
In the welding area?
Yes.
Were you ever trained as a welder?
No, I never received any training as such.
Did you ever receive any training on site?
None but what I picked up myself.
Were you ever trained to weld at a nuclear plant?
No, sir.
Were you originally doing craft work when you came to Zimmer?
Yes, I was.
Were you promoted subsequently to a supervisory role?
Yes.
Were you formally trained for this role?
No.
How did you acquire the training for your supervisory work?
I believe it was, merely a fluke that I made the position that I did. I did the best I could in my capacity.
So you had no training before your promotion or after your promotion?
No.
You mean, yes, you had no training, or no, you didn't have any?
No, I had no training prior to or after I received the promotion.
Did you do rework uncovered by the QCP program?
Yes, I supervised that work.
Were you doing structural steel repair?
Yes.
Were these repairs in critical safety areas?
Yes, they were.
Was there a pressure to rush production?
Absolutely.
Did you do major repairs when QCP inspectors were not around?
Yes, we did.
Did you hear complaints from inspectors?
Yes, frequently.
Did inspectors always reach a conclusion as to whether work was acceptable?
No, very seldom did they agree.
Were there times when forms were not completely filled out?
Yes.
What types of things were left out?
Mainly the signatures of the inspectors and their disagreement on the different points.
Was there a lack of coordination between quality control workers and inspectors?
That would seem to be the case.
What did this lead to?
Mass confusion and a lot of extra work.
Did you complain about these conditions?
Yes, many times.
Did you ever work in violation of a hold tag?
Yes.
And why did you work in violation of a hold tag?
I was so from my immediate supervisor.
Did other workers have this same experience?
Yes.
Were quality control people around when this happened?
Generally not. It was usually left up to us until final inspection.
Was it by design that this was done when quality control inspectors were not around?
I'm sure it was.
Did QCP inspectors find all problems at that plant that you are aware of?
No, not at all.
Why do you say that?
Well, they had approximately 30 50% defects that were brought out, and the other 70 to 250 were not identified.
Based on your experience, was there a pattern around the plant like this?
That seemed to be the way things went.
Did you talk with other people around the plant?
Yes.
And did they have the same kind of experiences?
There were similar experiences in all phases of work.
Were there dual inspectors for some work?
Yes.
Did both organizations agree on the QC inspection results?
No, very often that was not the case.
Was it a significant number of times that this was not the case?
I would say 70% not the case.
When you began weld repair work, were you told you were doing major repairs?
No, I was not.
Were you told you were just polishing up welds?
Not exactly, but it was in essence the same thing.
Were you told specifically you were not doing major repairs?
Yes.
Were there QA people there when you did these repairs?
Yes, they were.
Did most of this work involve superficial touch-up on welds?
Yes, it did.
Did it a significant amount involve major repairs?
Yes, it did.
Let me go back. Did most of the work involve superficial touch-up?
Excuse me. It started out to be a program of superficial cosmetic type repair, but often was the case that it went far deeper than that.
How far did people grind down on the weld?
Generally speaking, the only way to get production up was to grind out welds to the base metal on both members and re-weld the whole thing, essentially.
Say, grind down to the base metal and re-weld the whole thing?
Yes, one weld at a time.
Did anything happen as a result with support members or other structural elements?
There were times when serious consequence could have taken place where beams were, they developed cracks in welds where they'd been ground so far that they came close to popping loose and just crashing down.
Did support members ever break loose?
As far as structural, no.
Were welds ever completely replaced?
Essentially, yes.
Was there always an inspector there when this happened?
No.
Were proper records kept on these major repairs?
Not completely comprehensive records.
Do plant records show grinding down to base metal on the welds?
No, not at all.
Were welds reworked more than once?
Yes.
Were they sometimes worked as many as 2 or 3 times?
2, 3, up to 5.
I asked you a few minutes ago about working through hold tags. Did your boss ever tell you that you could get in trouble working through hold tags and violating other procedures?
No, that information was never given given to me.
Why did you work through hold tags?
Mainly because I was told to, and it could have been my job.
What did you do to cover yourself? Or were you told to do something to cover yourself?
I kept extensive notes to the effect of what I was told to do and what was actually done.
You kept notes. Did you keep notes on ordered changes?
Yes. Yes.
Did you keep memos?
Yes.
The NRC could collect these notes, could they not?
Possibly by subpoena or other process.
Did other people... I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you.
No, go ahead.
Did other people keep notes or memos?
Yes, they did.
Has the NRC contacted you?
No, they have not.
Does the NRC know about your notes and memos?
Not that I know of.
Has the NRC questioned you?
No, they have not.
Are you willing to talk to the NRC?
Under certain conditions, yes.
Were there welders not qualified for certain procedures?
Yes, there were.
Were new certification cards issued to welders who had not taken new tests?
Yes, they were.
Was there a problem keeping track of and protecting well rods during the summer of 1982?
Repeat the last question.
Was there a problem keeping track of and protecting weld rods during the summer of 1982?
Yes, there was.
Was there any harassment?
Yes, there was.
Was there a do-as-you're-told attitude?
Absolutely.
Are you willing to talk and expand on these areas once you are given protection?
Yes, we will.
Have you given an affidavit?
Yes, I have.
Okay. We don't want to, we would like to ask you a lot of other questions, but we're not going to ask you a lot of other questions or any other questions.